I am super excited to start this 4-week series with you all. It is something that I know for a fact every one of us here have experienced at some point, and that is waking up and seeing no leads, no transactions in your pipeline. So, everybody here, I promise you, has experienced it. Maybe you're experiencing it right now, but I've been doing mortgages for 30 years. And yes, I've had many times there's nothing there, right? It's just barren. And I see some big producing agents that are on this as well too. And I promise you, they will tell you the exact same thing. They've experienced it too. So if you're in the season right now, maybe you're a brand new agent or newer, or maybe you've been around for a bit and you just have nothing happening. I want to give you a little assurance right now. You are not alone. And this the series we're going to start today and go over the next 4 weeks. It's here to help you have some specific tactics that I promise you at 10:31 today you can immediately put into practice to start getting some traction moving. Okay, so if your pipeline is empty, nothing pending, nothing coming in, it's really just silence. Today we're going to fix it. All right. So I want to give you some hope. I hope you have pen and paper. The things I'm going to share with you are things every single realtor can do, every single person in my industry can do. So it doesn't matter what you do in sales. If you're in sales, I promise you, these are things that can bring business to you very soon. So let's get right into it. I'm going to tell you, though, before we get into the tactics, here's two things that most agents, most salespeople do. I'm not going to blame it specifically on realtors because I think every salesperson does it. When there is nothing in the pipeline, two normal reactions that salespeople do. The first group tends to freeze. They get in their head, they start questioning every single thing that they're doing. Is it the market? Is it the pricing? Is it the inventory? Is it the skills that you have or you don't have? But they wait for something to happen instead of making something happen. And oftentimes, the days turn into weeks and nothing changes. Okay. So the first group freezes. Second group gets really, really super busy. Now, we're going to talk about this a little bit in a few minutes. Busy does not necessarily equate to being productive. All right. So the second group tends to get really busy and it does feel productive, but they do things like, and every single thing I'm about to name to you, I'm going to raise my hand as being guilty of doing these things before. But the busy things that salespeople tend to do when nothing is in the pipeline, we'll do things like redesign our website. Let's redesign our business Facebook page or social media pages. We'll tweak our email signature. So realtors, maybe they drive around previewing listings. There's about 100 things that feel like work, but they produce zero income. Can anyone relate to being busy before because you have nothing and it's like throwing darts in the wind and you're hoping that something sticks? Here's the hard truth. Both groups are honestly making the exact same mistake. Now, that second group sounds better, like a better group to be in, but I promise you, both groups, whether you're panicky and you're frozen, or whether you're just really busy doing stuff, you're making the same mistake. You're avoiding the one thing that actually generates business. There is one thing that I promise you generates business. It starts with a C: conversations. That's the one thing that changes everything. And on the best part of all of it is conversations don't cost anything. They're not like Zillow where you have to pay $1,000 monthly premium to have conversations. No, conversations are free. Every deal, I promise you, if you think about this, every deal you have ever closed in your life, in your career, has started with a conversation. Not a post, not a mailer, not a new headshot, but a conversation. So when your pipeline is empty, the answer is never a new strategy. And again, I'm sharing this with you because everything I'm sharing with you, I am guilty in my career at some point of trying to create some new strategy to generate business. The answer is never that. The answer is always a conversation. So your job today is to go have one about your business. Okay. So busy does not equal productive. Activity does not equal income. When your pipeline is empty, you do not need to do more things. You need to do the right thing. And the right thing is always a conversation. So I'm going to give you right now 5 specific phone calls I would love for you to make before you do anything else today after you finish this class. Okay. Now, if you will commit to making these 5 phone calls today and then every business day for the next few days, I promise you, you will get leads and your pipeline will begin to grow. All right. So, call number one. Now, not all of you have been in business for a long time. Some of you I know on here are new. So if you're new, just bear with me a little bit. I will help you with it. But call number one, if you have ever closed a client in your life, call number one needs to be a past client. That is call number one. And I will tell you where I would start is your most recent past client. Okay. So my marketing assistant, the first of each month, she gives me a list of everyone we closed the previous month. It is my job and my duty the first week of the month to call all of my past clients from the previous month and check in with them. How's the new house going? Because they recently just trusted me on this huge transaction. They are people who know you, trust you, and hopefully they've had a great experience with you. So a simple check-in call is literally all it takes. You're not asking for business. I want to repeat that. You're not asking for business. You are simply showing that you care. That's it. And it goes like this. Hey, Madison, I was just thinking about you and wanted to check in. How's everything going with the house? That's it. You say, that's it? That's it. That call plants a seed and it grows into a referral. Showing that you care frequently plants a seed. That's all you need to do. Call a past client. So that's call number one. I'm saying call 5 a day. Call number one of the 5, past client. Call number 2, anyone who inquired in the last 90 days but did not move forward. So one of the things we're doing on my team right now is we're following up with leads from a few months ago. I will tell you, just this past month, we had 2 closings this past month, well, this month, rather in April, that started with us back like literally over a year ago. So don't ever assume that just because you haven't heard from a client that they've done something else, they chose somebody else. Look, life happens with all of us. People may get sick. People may go through different things in life that may just put things on delay for a little bit. Don't ever stop following up with people. But call number 2 is anyone who has inquired. Let's put a parameter on it in the last 90 days. Let's start there. These are warm leads who just kind of went cold. And again, life can get in the way. The timing may not have been right, but it does not mean they're done. So a simple script you could use, Hey, Mike, we spoke a little while back about buying, and I just wanted to check in and see if anything has changed for you. That reopens the doors more than you think. That's all you need to do. Okay. So call one, a recent past client. Call number two, anyone who has inquired in the last 90 days. Call number three, your sphere of influence, people that know you personally. So who's in this group? Friends that you have, family that you have, your neighbors, maybe former colleagues of where you worked before, church members, people who see you regularly. All of these people, let me just tell you, all of these people would love to support you, but they cannot refer you if they do not know you're actively looking for business. I think in our brains, we just assume everyone knows what I do. Everyone knows that I work by commission. Everyone knows I would love them to refer business to me. It's not true. A lot of people don't know that. In my profession, a lot of people think loan officers are salaried individuals. And yes, some are. But if I don't close a loan, I don't get paid. So I'm heavily vested in working and prospecting day in and day out. Most people know that realtors are 100% commission, but if you're not asking for business, people don't know that you want help and you need help. So we need to talk to our sphere of influence. I'll give you an example. Growing up, I had a sister. She was 18 years older than me, but she ended up going into real estate. And my family and I lived in South Carolina. She lived in North Carolina. Every time we'd go visit her, I remember entering Greenville, North Carolina, where she lived at and where she worked at, and there was this big billboard when you entered Greenville, and it had a picture of my sister up, and it said multi-million dollar producer. Now, for a teenage kid, I saw that billboard, and my brain tells me my sister is making millions a year selling real estate. I wasn't equating that to she's selling millions in homes, right? But I want to tell you, the public, when we put things up on social media or billboards that we're number one or we sell multi-million, let me just tell you, what does that tell the people that read stuff like that? It says, like, part of that could be maybe I'm successful, yes, but it also alludes to the fact that maybe I don't need any help. Have you thought about that piece? Like, let your people that are close to you, your friends, your family, people around you, know that you need referrals, that your business is built upon referrals. People want to support you, but they will not support you if they don't think you need it. So a casual conversation could include something like, hey, I'm really focused on building and growing my business right now. If you know anyone thinking about buying or selling, I would love the introduction. That's literally all it takes. So where do you find these people's your sphere of influence? Your phone. Most of you probably have 1,000 plus contacts in your phone. Just start scrolling and call one or two or three a day. So if you're a new agent, this is where I would come back to. Maybe you have no past clients to call. Maybe you don't have leads in the last 90 days because you literally just started. Okay. Now call three people a day, at least in your sphere of influence, and let them know what you're doing. People want to know and people need to know. All right. So let's start there. Call number four, local business owners and community connectors. I want you to think for a minute about the people in your community who talk to a lot of people every single day. Now, the first industry that comes to mind or occupation that comes to mind that I know for a fact talks to a lot of people a day are hairstylists. That is number one. They talk to a lot of people a day. So Why not share with your hairstylist? Now, if you have no hair, then this may not be the best occupation for you to go after. But if you get someone to do your hair, why not let them know that I'm looking to grow my business right now? Please keep me in mind with people that come in. Here's another great occupation that I don't think we think about sometimes. People that own gyms, fitness places. Here's another one. I promise you, a lot of realtors don't think about, but it's a great referral source. Financial advisors. Another one's insurance agents. Another one are pastors. So if you go to church, make sure your pastor knows what you do and how they can support you. Another one's restaurant owners. Why? Because they're community hubs. People go there and socialize. They hear things. They know people who are moving, growing, changing jobs, getting married, having babies, going through transitions. So a simple relationship building call, not a pitch, puts you in their mind. So when someone mentions real estate, you just want to be the first person that pops up in their brain. All you're doing is just staying connected so you are top of mind when the conversation comes up naturally. So think about the people that are around you, the local business owners, community connectors. The biggest secret, like, well, no, let me back up. This is not a secret. If I were to ask any of you, who is the number one target that any lender, loan officer would go after to get business? Realtors. That's not a secret, is it? Like, why? Why do all loan officers go after realtors? Because you all, if this is breaking news for you, you all are like golden geese to a loan officer. You keep giving referrals. It's beautiful. That's why I love realtors so much. Okay. But seriously, there are industries that can be golden geese for you all as a realtor. The number one, if I were a realtor, the number one industry that I would try to find partners in would be an estate attorney or a divorce attorney. People die, somebody's selling a home. People get divorced, somebody's selling a home and probably buying a home. Two great industries that can be golden geese to you guys. Okay. Now, here's another strategy I would use. I'm going to back up a second. I said call number 3 out of the 5 calls a day was to your sphere of influence. So here's a great way to help your sphere of influence think about you. Let's just say Madison is a third cousin of mine. I'm calling Madison. Madison, hey, I just got into real estate. I wanted you to know what I'm doing now. Now, one of the things I would love to do is I'm trying to find maybe a financial advisor or an estate attorney to work with. Have you or your husband, do you guys work with a financial advisor? And if she says yes, then would it be okay for me to call your financial advisor, use your name, and just have start a warm conversation? So now, if making that phone call, Madison in my sphere of influence, my second cousin, does she now know what I do? So if I've accomplished one thing. Now I've given her a specific tactic of who's your financial advisor. Now I've got the name of someone else to call. And now it's not a cold call calling the financial advisor because I'm calling using Madison's reference. Does that make sense? Like, so I'm just building and creating my list to start snowballing of who I can call. So I might call at the end of this week 20 people in my sphere of influence. I might have 10 names of financial advisors having that exact same conversation. Then now I can start creating this group of people that I'm going to target and go after. Okay. So, anyhow, I want to back up, quick review. Call number 1 of the 5 is your most recent past client. Call number 2, anyone who was a lead in the last 90 days but did not move forward. Call number 3, your sphere of influence. 4, local business owners. Number 5, people in your sphere going through a life transition. Look, everyone right now, we're all living in a social media world. To be quite honest, I wish social media never existed. It is so much easier as a parent if it never existed at all. However, we live in this space, okay, daily. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you're not, you're probably missing maybe some opportunities to connect, but we're living in the space. Think about who in your world right now that you see on social media is getting married, having a baby, going through a divorce, retiring, changing jobs, sending a kid off to college. Like, I will tell you, life transitions almost always trigger a real estate decision. I will say it again. Life transitions almost always trigger a real estate decision. Always. So when you see people that are going through transitions, it can be a great time, especially with things like marriage or having a baby, retiring, to call and congratulate them. Maybe too if they're going through a divorce. I don't know. But you have plenty of opportunities to have conversations with people that you see going through things, right? So, any of these calls, number one, you do not have to be pushy, just be present. You don't need to call and try to get something. Call and give something. Give them honor. Give them compassion. Show them that you care about them as a person. That's all that you're trying to do. So, those are the 5 calls. That is where you start, not social media. It's not a new strategy, and it's not emails. It's not posts. It's 5 calls a day. All right. So today, make your 5 calls. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until you're ready. Don't try to script it perfectly. Just pick up the phone and make a phone call. You just need 5 conversations. And then step number 2, tonight, go through your database and identify 20 people you have not spoken to in the last 60 days. Write their names down. Those are your targets for the next several days as you're making your 5 calls a day. All right. Now, tomorrow morning, so step 1, do your calls a day. Step 2, come up with 20 names tonight. Step 3, tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, send 10 personal texts to people on that list. Not a mass message, not a copy and paste, but 10 individual personal texts that feel like they came from another human being who actually thought of that specific person. So it could be something like, hey, I was thinking about you today. How's everything going? That's it. It could even be a video. Sometimes videos are cool of doing a quick video and just talking real to the person. Like, hey, Madison, I just wanted to tell you this morning, I was thinking about you. Every time I'm with you or see you or talk to you, you make me feel better as a human being. I just want to say thank you. That goes a long ways. Little messages, texts like that. So just be real with people. Okay. All right. And then tomorrow afternoon, follow up on any responses from your calls and texts that happen. Every response can lead to a conversation. Every single conversation can lead to an opportunity. So that's 48 hours, 2 days of being focused and having intentional activity. And here's what I promise you. I promise you, if you paid for this workshop, I would tell you I would give you a refund back if it didn't happen, but you didn't pay for it, so I can't do that. But here's what I promise you. If you execute this, you will feel different on Friday than you feel right now. I promise you that because momentum is not a feeling. Momentum is simply a decision that's followed up by action. Okay. So your database that the people already right now, even if you're new, your database of people, it's a gold mine that most of us tend to ignore. All right. Now, some of you have heard me say this before, but I feel like it's worth saying one more time. And this is a true statistic. 20% of people are thinking about buying or selling real estate. 20%. Like I looked the other day, I've got about 2,800 contacts in my phone. 3% of that is about 84 or so people right now that are, I'm sorry, 840 people right now thinking about buying or selling real estate. Let me back up. My math is getting a little flawed. 20% of 2,800 is like 560 people right now thinking about buying and selling real estate. Here's the other true statistic. 3% will actually do it. So that's about 84 people right now in my phone that will right now buy real estate. We all have an enormous gold mine of people, but what we tend to do as salespeople, we tend to look for shiny, flashy objects we can spend some money on to attract leads of people that don't know us, like us, or trust us, instead of just going right to the source of people that are already in our life that God put there and going deep and building relationships and having real conversations with people. Literally, business is right in front of our face. We just have to open our mouth and converse. That's the secret to it all. Okay? We don't need to spend money on Zillow. We don't need to spend money on billboards or shopping carts at Kroger's or any of those things. We really just need to have conversations. That's where it starts. So, over the next few weeks, the next 3 Wednesdays, we're going to spend more time talking about getting business in your pipeline right now. Okay, thank you all so much for joining us today. It is 10:29, so we're going to end 1 minute early and stay on time. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. See ya.